and welcome back to my channel. My name is Candy. If you're new here, I want to welcome you, and I hope everyone is having a blessed Father's Day. Yes, I know this video will be posted late because I'm doing it directly on Father's Day, so you guys will see it after. But I want to wish all the dedicated and loving fathers a happy Father's Day. And today I will be cooking a delicious dinner for my husband because he is so devoted and dedicated and such an awesome father to his kids. And we want to show our appreciation by cooking him a delicious dinner. And I will be taking you guys on the journey with me. You guys get to come in the kitchen and see all the goodies that I'm cooking. Now, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And guys, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Now let's jump right into it. So I need to make a quick grocery run and pick up a few more items. I have most of the stuff already at home, but I just need a few more. So now that we have all our ingredients, what we'll do next is go ahead and season our meats. I went ahead and washed my pork really well, and I'll use some mustard, garlic powder, complete seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, some ginger powder, some Italian seasoning, meat seasoning, some smoked paprika, garlic powder, and some brown sugar. Next, we'll combine all of the seasonings to make a dry rub for our ribs. We'll season the ribs really well with this, and we'll place it in our refrigerator overnight. So this is the part where you want to lather your ribs with the mustard on both sides. This will add a nice tangy flavor to the ribs, and it will be absolutely amazing, guys. We will lather the ribs on both sides, and then we will add the seasoning. So next up we have the chicken here. I went ahead and cut straight along the backbone. I didn't take the backbone out. I just cut right down the backbone to open up the chicken so I can season it really well. And here I'll be using some of my fresh green seasoning, some smoked paprika, some Chief's Chinese sauce, Heinz 57 sauce, some complete seasoning, chicken bouillon, black pepper, and all-purpose seasoning. So here we'll be adding all of the ingredients, including the sauces, to the bowl, mix until well combined. We are creating a wet marinade for this chicken. It is going to be absolutely delicious, guys. If you've never had this Heinz 57 sauce and the Chief Chinese sauce on a chicken, it is amazing. You need to try it. And we will also let this sit in our refrigerator overnight. Okay guys, so now we'll be making some macaroni salad, and this is perfect to make like the night before because it's something that's supposed to be cold. So if you make it the night before and it gets to rest in your fridge overnight, it will be perfect the next day. So as you can see, I have my elbows macaroni, some white vinegar, I have some onions, parsley, carrots, green bell peppers, corn, red bell peppers. I have some ranch dressing, some mayonnaise. I have sweetened condensed milk. I will be using some mustard, and for my seasonings, I have some seasoned salt, some garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and some chicken bouillon. So first things first, you want to boil your noodles. And here I'll be adding my chicken bouillon. This will add great flavor and taste to the noodles, and it will be super, super delicious. We'll add our noodles here and we'll boil until it's al dente. Next, we'll go ahead and create the dressing for the salad. We will add all of the wet ingredients here. Also, we will add our seasonings to flavor it up a bit. And then we should be adding our vegetables in this. But my camera is always sabotaging me, guys. When I thought it was recording, it had cut off and it didn't get to show the part of me actually adding in the vegetables. But that's all I did after I added the wet ingredients. I just added in the vegetables, mix well, and that's it. And once you've combined all of the ingredients, this is how it should be looking. Now we will let our noodles cool off thoroughly before we combine the two. You don't want to add your noodles here hot. You want to wait until it's thoroughly cooled and then you combine the two. So now we will add our dressing to our noodles and we'll mix until well combined. We'll add a little at a time just to make sure that, we're not over adding the dressing or under adding the dressing. So we'll add a little at a time and we'll see if we need more, and then we will, add more as needed. We'll mix until well combined, and this is it, guys. It's super, super delicious, but very simple. And we will cover this and place it into our refrigerator overnight. It will be absolutely amazing the next day. Okay guys, so fast forward to the next day. I took my ribs out of the refrigerator like an hour and a half ago so that it can come up to room temperature before I place it in the oven. And I will be adding some liquid smoke to this. This will give the ribs a nice smoky flavor without the actual smoke. We're not going to put this on a grill to get that smoky flavor or in a smoker. So we will add some liquid smoke here and we will cover this and place it in the oven for about 2 hours. And then I'll show you guys the next step. So after about 2 hours, guys, we will now add some barbecue sauce to our ribs. You can use any barbecue sauce that you like. I am using Sweet Baby Ray's. We are going to baste this with some barbecue sauce and we'll bump our heat up to 425 degrees. We will place this back into the oven uncovered and allow it to go for 30 minutes. Then we will baste it again the next 30 minutes and that's it. Our rib should be done. And this is our ribs after 3 hours in total. It is finally done and it smells super amazing, guys. That smoky flavor is coming right through. And now we will move on to the next step. Next up is our chicken. I did took this out of the fridge prior also so that it can come up to room temperature. And we will place this in the oven covered for about 3 hours. Every hour we will baste the chicken with its own juices, but I will show you guys as we go along. You see, once you prep your stuff the night before, it is so easy the next day to just put them in the oven and let them cook themselves. I don't have to do anything else here. I just put this in the oven and every hour I will baste it. So after about 1 hour, guys, we are now basting the chicken for the first time. We'll baste it well and then we'll cover and place it back into the oven for another hour. Two hours in, guys, we are now basting the chicken for the second time. We will baste it well, and this time we will place it back into the oven uncovered. We want the chicken to catch some color for its last hour of baking, and then our chicken should be done. And 3 hours after, our chicken is finally done. It smells amazing, guys. And the chicken is super, super moist and juicy because we covered it and we cook it in its own juices. It is absolutely amazing. Lastly, we'll garnish with some parsley and we'll cover this and set aside until we're ready to serve. Now let's move on to the next step. Next up, we'll be fixing a delicious cheesy scalloped potatoes. So here I have some Parmesan cheese and sharp cheddar cheese. I have my potatoes thinly sliced. I have some heavy whipping cream, some whole milk. I have garlic, onions, butter, flour. I have all-purpose seasoning, Italian seasoning, chicken bouillon, and black pepper. Let's continue. First, you want to add the butter to your pan and allow that to melt. Next, we'll add our onions and garlic and we'll let them go for about 2 minutes. Now we'll add our flour and allow it to go for about 2 minutes on low heat so we can cook some of that rawness out of the flour before we add the rest of our ingredients. Next, we'll add our milk here, we'll add our heavy cream, and we'll add the seasonings to flavor and add taste to the dish. We will let this all come up to a slight simmer before we start adding our cheese. Now we'll go in with our cheese. We'll mix well and allow it to melt. That will thicken up our sauce and we'll be ready to assemble our potatoes. Once all your cheese melts, this is how the cheese sauce should be looking. Now we'll remove this from the heat and move on to the next step. So this is how we'll assemble our potatoes. First, we'll put down some cheese sauce here, just so nothing sticks to the bottom. And then we'll put a layer of potatoes. Then we'll add cheese sauce. Then we'll add a layer of potatoes, then cheese sauce again. And that's how we'll do. This dish gives you about 3 layers of potatoes and cheese sauce. Lastly, we will have the cheese sauce sitting at the top. You want to make sure that you have your cheese sauce at the top at the end. You don't want to just leave your potatoes sitting there dry. And we'll place this in a 375-degree oven for about 1 hour. Now everybody's oven cooks different. So if you have like a high volume oven that burns things really fast, you might want to put this on 355 instead. And then I'll show you guys the next step. So after about 1 hour, we will now check to see if our potatoes are tender. All you need to do is poke them with a fork, and if the fork goes right through, you know that they are ready. You don't want these to be mushy, soft. You want them to just be fork tender. Now we will add our shredded cheese over top, and we'll place this back into the oven just until the cheese melts. And when the cheese melts, you put your broiler on for 5 minutes and allow the cheese to brown up at the top. And that's it. That's how easy it is to make this. And it's super, super creamy, cheesy, and delicious. And this is the finished product of our cheesy scalloped potatoes, guys. Now we will garnish with some fresh parsley and set it aside. You want to let this set before you cut into it. Do not cut into it right away. So next up, we have a delicious creamy Brussels sprouts. For the ingredients, I have here some Parmesan cheese, some fresh Brussels sprouts. I have heavy whipping cream, some cherry tomatoes, parsley, onions, garlic, butter. I have all-purpose seasoning, garlic pepper, complete seasoning, black pepper, and more all-purpose seasoning. So here in my preheated pot, I will now add my Brussels sprouts. I did add about 2 tablespoons of oil, and we will also add our seasonings here. We will add some all-purpose seasoning and our garlic pepper. Very simple. We will let this cook until our Brussels sprouts brown up a bit. We just want them to catch some color. We don't need to cook them too long because we don't want them mushy. We want them to still have a crunch to them. So we'll let them catch a little color. It should take no longer than about 5 minutes. And then I'll show you guys the next step. So after about 5 minutes, I think we have some color going here. We will now remove our Brussels sprouts from the pan and we'll start making the sauce that we will toss them in. Next, we'll add our onions, garlic, and our tomatoes, and we'll let them go for about 1 minute. Now we'll add our heavy cream here, we'll add our seasonings, and we'll add our cheese. We'll let them all come up to a slight simmer, allowing our cheese to melt. So at this point, the last step is we'll add our fresh parsley here. Then we'll add our Brussels sprouts back into the pot. We will toss it really well, then we'll turn the heat off. We don't want to cook them any longer because we don't want them to become mushy. We just want them to be tossed in this delicious sauce, and we will set them aside until we're ready to serve. Now let's move on to the next step. And lastly, we have a bang bang shrimp. This is my husband's favorite. He loves bang bang shrimp so much. I have some fresh shrimp here that I washed in lemon juice, and I'll be using some Old Bay seasoning, some garlic pepper, some smoked paprika, and I will be using some sesame oil. So guys, I've decided to shorten the video by seasoning this off camera. What I did was added the sesame oil, add all the seasonings, and mix until well combined. Here I have the ingredients that I'll be using to make the bang bang shrimp sauce. Here I have some sriracha hot sauce, mayonnaise, I have some soy sauce, and some sweet chili sauce. We will mix all of these until they're well combined, and we'll set aside until our shrimp is ready. Here in my cast iron skillet, I will now add the shrimp and I will allow them to cook for about 3 minutes on each side. Now, usually for this recipe, the shrimp would be fried, but we do not want to eat any fried foods today, so we are searing our shrimp. We want to sear it to get a nice, good sear so that the sauce will hold on to the shrimp. We will flip them and allow them to cook evenly for 3 minutes on the other side. Then we'll remove our shrimp and toss it in the sauce. Now we are going to add our sauce to the shrimp, and that's it. It's that simple and easy. You can add as much or as little of the sauce as you like. It's about your preference. And usually we would fry the shrimp, but today we are doing it a different way, and it still will taste absolutely amazing. Okay guys, so let's take a look at all the delicious meals we made today. First up, we have our macaroni salad. It is absolutely delicious. You guys will love it. And then we have our ribs, our barbecue ribs. It is absolutely amazing, full of flavor. That smokiness comes right through, and it is so delicious. Then we have our chicken here. So tender, moist, well seasoned. It is everything you would want in a baked whole chicken. And then we have our cheesy scalloped potatoes. Very cheesy, creamy, and delicious. And we have our creamy Brussels sprouts. It is just something different, and it is full of flavor and very tasty. And lastly, we have our bang bang shrimp. Yes, guys, you will enjoy this. It is a favorite of my husband's, and it is great for this occasion. And when everything is plated up, this is how delicious it looks, and it tastes absolutely amazing, guys. I hope you all give the recipe a try, and I just want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. And if you guys enjoy my video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I will leave all the ingredients down in my description box, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Enjoy!